After the Chernobyl incident, animals no longer look the same there, with devastating disorders, bizarre mutations, and incredible evolutionary changes. There are animals creepy, terrifying, and downright scary. Hang on, as here's a list of the most devastating creatures that shocked the whole world. Fawn with ticks. In June 2021, a blind fawn frantically bumped into the car in Eastern Shore County Road. With her eyes embedded with ticks on both sides, the poor fawn looked panicked. However, thanks to the man named Nettleston, who cradles after cradling the animal, called wildlife rescues, and they both removed all the ticks out of its eyes while cleaning the infected area. They not only removed all the debris and drained the abscesses around, but allow the poor fawn to look up at the world without pain. This is actually systematic infection, where after laying in one spot for so long, animals tend to pick up on ticks and begin to collect them. Bear with tapeworm. Take a look at this giant Alaskan bear walking with a 6 feet long tapeworm appearing from its back. The footage shows a bear rubbing its back against the tree while trying to get rid of this itchy parasitic worm that's been causing it discomfort. But even if this one gets out of the bear, gets another one, because Alaskan rivers are filled with tapeworms' eggs, which get eaten by crustaceans, a feed to salmon, and we all know when it comes to salmon, bears can resist, due to which they get lodged with tapeworms, trapped in their digestive tracts. The worm then lives upon the nutrients from the bear's body while growing up to the length of 30 feet or more, deteriorating the animal from inside out. Bizarre antler growth. While the deer's antlers are their crown, this poor buck was spotted with a deformed one. Speaking of which, one of its antlers was dangling downwards with quite a swollen appearance. Although the animal seemed fine, grazing on grass, walking around, or moving its head without any discomfort, studies suggest antler deformities are most common in deer, due to a variety of reasons, including injury, hormone imbalances, or genetics, leading the antler deformities to shape up quite differently. The good thing is, in most cases, these deformities are absolutely painless. Zombie moose. The next footage shows this one crazy moose walking quite awkwardly in circles with a bent head. 1. It's not being playful. 2. It's not crazy. And 3. It's quite disturbing. Well then, what is it? According to research, this poor moose is suffering from a disease called brain disease, caused by a vicious parasitic worm, which is lethal enough to take over an animal's neurological system. The worm is usually transferred through white-tailed deer, which are the actual host to this worm, causing symptoms such as unusual behavior, anger, and discomfort, with no way out of it until the animal decides to give up on life. Featherless parrot. Moving on, let me introduce you people to Oscar, who is a female Moluccan cockatoo bird. But as you can see, she is not your average bird. Oscar has a rare virus that causes her to pull out her feathers when it irritates her. Not just that, the bird also had a beak disease. But despite all the odds, Oscar has survived 12 years so far. The disease is highly contagious, causing other birds to lose their feathers too before they can even properly grow. Therefore, Oscar is kept away from her other family members while charming its owner with her adorable personality. Giraffe with massive head growth. The next clip is from Kruger National Park, showing this giraffe with a giant head tumor atop of its eyes and in between the antlers. The animal, apart from being in pain, was spotted grazing on some leaves to keep up with its deteriorating health. Rotting pretty badly, some say the tumor is cancer related, while others believe it could be linked to the mutation due to aging. However, with a tumor this big and painful, chances are this poor animal will give up before getting attacked by any other lethal predator. Which could be worse, I assume. Piglet with 6 legs. From Sichuan province in China, an unusual piglet was born with apparently 6 legs and 8 feet. The video shows a tiny piglet, apart from having 4 usual legs with 2 extra ones emerging out under its belly. With the libs simply dangling on the floor, they do not appear to hinder the piglet as it walks around. But that's not even bizarre, because this tiny creature is also having 2 small feet poking out from under the belly next to the extra legs. It is believed this unusual pair of legs and toes are the result of genetic mutation, as the rest of its siblings turned out to be completely normal in appearance. Squirrel having seizure. This little squirrel was caught shivering as if it is induced to a high amplitude of current. But it's worse than that, because oddly enough the squirrel is vibrating due to a sudden seizure. Fortunately, this man picked the poor thing up, patted it while putting it on a white paper, because he knew exactly what the next step was going to be as he fed the squirrel with a mixture of sugar and water. Did you see the squirrel appreciating help as it sips the mixture in? Anyhow, after feeding some more, he decided to keep the animal in a cage for a night, as it was too weak to join the wildlife just yet, and it released the following day. Hairless buck. Somewhere in the middle of the woods, a skinny deer was spotted with patchy skin and discoloration, which is quite uncommon to see a deer like that. Experts concluded that this little fella is actually having a hair loss issue, with most of its skin having missing patches of fur. But why is that so? Well, there are many possible causes for this, including lice, mangy, dermatophylosis, which is called rain rot, and since this one was roaming in the wildlife, nothing could be said much while analyzing the root for it being hairless. Rabid fox. A watch member from Forsyth County in Georgia spotted this fox sitting in the middle of the town beside the car tire, which looks pretty normal, but wait until it starts to baffle you with absolutely bizarre behavior. Howling like crazy and aggressively while being completely disoriented. Well, while it doesn't seem ordinary, it turns out the unfortunate animal is infested with a lethal rabid virus, a kind of virus that is known to directly attack the central nervous system of animals until they get doomed by it. Not just that, if a rabid animal happens to bite humans, it can cause the same symptoms with no effective treatment to cure it. Deer with giant tumor. This white-tailed deer was spotted with a huge basketball-sized growth dangling from its brisket area. Known as hydrocyst or ceramos, the giant growth is filled with fluid, which is sometimes tinted yellow or red, and mostly develops in response to a traumatic injury, and is as painful as it looks. The footage shows this miserable animal wandering around with a painful mass, waiting to be rescued or get fed by mighty predators. Elephant with leg tumor. In November 2021, an elephant was spotted with one of its legs bulkier than the rest of others, and after getting noticed by wildlife rescuers, it turns out the poor giant is suffering from a leg tumor, otherwise known as elephantitis, a parasitic infection caused by roundworms that transmit through the bites of an infected mosquito. Quite miserable, the elephant, despite having a lumpy, stiff, and tough skin around the leg, was in utter pain in the swollen area. However, thanks to the wildlife officers who, after giving it a tranquilizer, managed to treat the elephant with proper medical attention. Itchy donkey. Meet Irvin, the donkey, who couldn't stop scratching ever since it arrived at the sanctuary, because apparently this poor animal had something inside its long fur called Cryoptes equi, which is the most common external parasite associated with intense itching and patchy appearance, especially in donkeys. But no worries, because Irvin is in good hands. He not only got a haircut, but was treated properly to fix the constant itching while putting the animal to an ease. Monkey with mouth cancer. Where studies show a low risk of cancer in non-human primates, this female monkey was seen with a poor monkey disease, perhaps having mouth cancer in its most severe stage. Unable to eat properly with a wound that big, thankfully she is able to drink water. But is drinking water enough for survival? The poor animal, despite suffering from an immense amount of pain, is not sure what is wrong with her and is doing whatever she could to ease the pain until it's time to say a final goodbye to this world.
Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content.
Two-legged hyena. Stronger than ever, this brave hyena was spotted at King's Camp in Greater Kruger with two of his hind legs completely paralyzed as it dragged them along. A quick backstory for you all. 9 months ago, the same hyena was brutally attacked by a pride of lions, leaving the hyena lifeless. While not sure where the poor animal ran off, it turns out the hyena was keeping a low profile until it gets better. Well, now it seems okay, even healthier than the previous time. It was spotted walking on two of its front legs after being left paraplegic. However, what's important is that it's life and doing just fine out in the wild. Strange mutant deer. This strange trail cam video shows a baby deer as it passes by with a broccoli head in front of the camera. Where some are calling it a bizarre mutant or even an alienoid species, the poor animal is having a huge antler growth, which kind of looks like a crow of fibromas. Although this looks quite cartoonish, it appears as if the animal is having trouble walking, with huge antler growths blocking its vision. Elephants without tusks. In Mozambique's Garangaço National Park, Africa, elephants are being born without tusks, which is quite unusual because these massive teeth assist elephants in digging, lifting, or gathering food. It helps them strip the bark off of the trees to eat and provide a defense mechanism. But since decades of constant hunting of tusked elephants was a non-stoppable tradition among hunters, elephants adapted to become tuskless, which again is quite bothersome because if an elephant doesn't have the tool to do all the necessary things, how will it survive? Horse with deformed face. While stepping a milestone to getting bred close to perfection with cartoon-like features, this is a 9-month-old colt named El Rey Magnum, who was born to Orion Farms with a strange concave profile, like a cartoon animal. But despite looking oddly cute, animal experts have warned the breeders since the horse might find it difficult to breathe and even to exercise, because unlike humans, horses can only breathe through their nose, which is a major limiting factor of this breed. Pale zebra. I am sure I have spotted the difference by now. The video features a herd of zebras with black and stripes, except for one having pale stripes. Is it another form of some bizarre mutation, or what? Well, it seems the animal is suffering from leucism, a rare condition where zebras tend to produce less pigmentation than the rest of its siblings. However, according to studies, there are some cases where animals do get their usual coloration back as they tend to grow old. But it looks like this guy here enjoys being different in a world full of zebras with black and white stripes. Deer with CWD. Standing in the middle of the cold with its lower lip falling apart, the poor miserable angel, besides bearing the harsh weather, is suffering from CWD, chronic wasting disease, while a disease well known for causing degeneration of the brain due to the misfold of protein called prion. Once the animal is infected with CWD, I'm afraid there's no going back, except for getting a lifetime departure ticket from this world. But while this unfortunate thing is already in pain, it seems to be attacked by predators causing a lip injury. However, the animal appears to ward off its enemies. It's now waiting for a peaceful end. Reindeer with antler wart. Warts, apart from being painless, can cause many other discomforts if not treated on time. Just like this reindeer with massive antler warts growing upon its head, causing it hard for the poor animal to see properly. Anyhow, the animal got lucky when a veterinarian, Dr. Terry, arrived to rescue it out of his misery. The footage shows him tying the animal to the tree while deciding to get rid of warts disturbing its vision. Quite carefully, Dr. Terry managed to bless the animal with a whole new vision when he cut off the unnecessary warts. Deer with swollen jaw. Standing in the middle of the tall, grassy field, the poor doe is spotted with a swollen cheek jaw. And while it appears the animal had stuffed too much at once, it's actually way more than just partially chewed forage caught in the space between cheek and beneath the deer's tongue. It is basically a disease called lumpy jaw, or food impaction, caused by an internal parasitic worm, which is quite common in white-tailed deer, as these species have a number of different anaerobic bacteria species. But the good thing is, this disease can go on its own, if not get worse. Three-legged tiger. In the Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, there lived a tiger named Maya, who used to drag herself on the floor in order to walk. Because as you can see, the poor cat has only got 3 things. But that didn't keep Maya away from entertaining the viewers or giving birth to 3 beautiful cubs that all belong to the reputable species of Malayan tigers. But since Maya had several health issues, including dementia, she gave up at the age of 20 years in April 2017. Monkey with deformed hands. Peeling and munching on a banana with tiny deformed hands. Meet this baby monkey, who, besides all the odds, seems to be enjoying its banana as if nothing is really wrong. Well, good thing before it realizes that because it is having a severe hand deformity, which might lead to difficulty in future. Although it's not sure how and why it got it in the first place. Some say it could be by birth, while others believe it could be due to a major deficiency in the monkey's internal system. Anyways, doesn't it look just adorable having that banana? Muscle-mutated pig. Pigs are very strong, but what if I show you these mutant double-muscle pigs with Hulk-like bodies? A framer from Cambodia happens to breed these super muscular pigs as a result of genetic breeding. They have got huge size and heavy muscles, and some of them are too heavy to be able to walk properly. But since they are engineered genetically, they need special attention otherwise. They can be prone to health issues in no time. Radioactive spiders. Apart from looking like normal spiders, meet these radioactive spiders, which have special web developing abilities. Because it appears after the Chernobyl disaster, the spiders crawling around the infected zone in Ukraine adapted some bizarre abilities in order to keep up with surviving. Scientists were shocked to see how radiation has influenced these spiders, causing them to weave erratic patterns of webs, which somehow seem quite distorted and deformed compared to regular ones. But at least they aren't doomed like most of their Chernobyl animals. Today's open discussion is an eerie picture of a deer covered with huge black circular growths. Does this belong to another planet or some sort of bizarre mutation? Well, according to research, it turns out this poor fella is under the influence of vicious growth tumor known as cutaneous fibromas. Quite common in bucks, these painful cyst-like growths appear to develop on the deer's skin as they come in contact with a virus called papillomavirus. The disease is spreadable and is capable of covering an animal's entire body with giant warts measuring from half to 8 inches long in diameter, while causing complete restlessness in them. Scary wolf mutation. Spread all across the Chernobyl, when the greatest nuclear blast occurred, these apex predators were swift enough to absorb the radiation without risking their lives. But now that there's no food left for them to hunt, they are migrating to small towns while stepping up into the world with their radioactive genes, which is transmissible to other animals too. However, they aren't prone to humans yet. Many studies claim that by the time passes, these lethal radiation can even spread to humans, may be causing a werewolf for real. Rarest dogs. With the advent of life growing back after the Chernobyl disaster, around 300 stray dogs were found some 2,600 kilometers away from the affected area, living with other wildlife such as moose and lynx. The footage shows beautifully furred dogs with patterns of black, white, and gold with yellow eyes roaming around the area, while entertaining the visitors. But this is not as beautiful as it looks, because when the weather gets rising, a shorter life expectancy limited to just 6 years. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.